to clear left-footed into the Palace half. The whistle has gone though, after Jordan Pickford played that ball forward. I think an offside's been given against one of the Palace players, and that gives Everton a free kick 15 yards outside their penalty area, which Pickford takes left-footed, lofting it down the right-hand side, headed forward for Everton by Ashley Young, and it's out for a throw down by the corner flag, which is literally just a few yards from Palace's left corner flag. Thrown up the line. Mateta jumped for it. Still in the Palace left back area. Ben Godfrey gets a header in, as does Dominic Calvert-Lewin. But Ashley Young's header goes out over that far side touchline, midway inside the Palace half, for another throw to the visitors, which Tyrick Mitchell will take. Again, he throws it up the line looking for Mateta's head, but Mateta is out-jumped. It wins Palace another throw, some 10 yards further forward. Not quite at the halfway line, but almost at the dugouts. Mitchell throws forward. This time it is flicked on by Mateta, but Randthwaite is at cross to volley clear. And Everton try and pick the ball up in the Palace half. Palace, though, tidy up, and they can try and come forward with Muniz, who plays it over the halfway line. It's taken in by Jordan Ayew, who retreats back into his own half, back to Munoz, back down the right-hand side. Mateta gets a touch, touches it inside to Odsonne Edouard, out to the far side now, back into Edouard, who retreats out towards the left side. That's the far side as we look. Played it back to Richards. Wharton gets a touch just inside the Everton half. Everton got a foot in, but not for very long. Palace have won a throw, which they've thrown back into their own half to Richards, who seems to have taken up a position on the left side of defence. Munoz plays the ball into the Everton half. Briefly gets it back again. Lerma gets a touch. Wharton in the centre circle. That's a lovely ball out to the left. Ball drifted across the box. It was heading for Jean-Philippe Mateta. Tarkowski stretched and put it behind for a corner. He's picking himself up a little gingerly, is the Everton skipper. So Everton fans will be hoping that he's not damaged himself on the stretch. Keep an eye on that. Yeah, he seems to be in some pain as he picks himself up. So we'll have to keep an eye on that. He has to keep an eye on Mateta from this corner, and it comes, headed away as far as Mitchell, who feeds it back to the corner taker. Wharton with the cross to the far post. Easy one for Jordan Pickford. Didn't get as far as Odsonne Edouard. And Pickford can clear. Tarkowski clears the 18-yard area as Godfrey storms into the Palace half. Lovely challenge, though, by Adam Wharton. January signing from Blackburn, slid in well there, put it out over the far touchline for a throw to Everton. Midway inside the Palace half. Godfrey's come forward to take it. Throws it up the line. It's gone out for another throw, which again Godfrey will take. That corner for Palace was their 110th this season, and they're still to score a goal from one. Tells you why they're struggling at the bottom of the table, I guess, or towards the bottom of the table. A win tonight for Everton would really suck them into the relegation scrap. Here's Tyrick Mitchell with a throw in the left back position, thrown forward. Godfrey won the header. Palace threatened to get it clear, but Everton have won it back. Here's Dwight McNeil playing it to the left side to Mikalenko. Mikalenko's ball back to McNeil. McNeil wasn't aware that the ball was coming back to him, so ran past the ball, but he's now laid the ball forward towards the edge of the penalty area. Palace half clear. Lerma gets a touch. Odsonne Edouard battles for the ball midway inside his half. Oh, there's some mighty tackles biting in here. It's broken for Idrissa Gana Gay. His shot was blocked. Palace again failed to clear. And Everton have it with Garner, 30 yards out. He plays it to the right-hand side. It will be retrieved by Ashley Young. The veteran defender playing a little further forward tonight than on some occasions. Played it back to Tarkowski. Tarkowski lobbed it towards Calvert-Lewin, who stretched for it. I'm not sure he didn't make contact with a Palace player's chest. Here's Calvert-Lewin again on the left of the box, laying it back to Dwight McNeil. Cross comes in. That's going to be too long. Will it be retrieved by Godfrey on the far side, though? Yes, it will. He's down by the corner flag. And he plays the ball off Mitchell for a throw. So a throw down by the corner flag, which Godfrey will take. Sean Dyche seems somewhat exercised about something. I'm not sure what. Didn't really see anything untoward. But he'll be looking to keep up his excellent record against Crystal Palace. 4 wins and 3 draws in his 7 encounters. In the meantime, Everton have forced a throw in, level with the 18-yard area. It's thrown to Young, back to Godfrey again, the two trying to combine down the right-hand side. Wharton clears, but not very far. His attempted clearance up the Palace left was intercepted by Tarkowski, who played it back to Branthwaite. And now Garner comes over the halfway line and finds Mikalenko. Mikalenko to Dwight McNeil, right on the left touchline, midway inside the half. Back to Garner again. Branthwaite plays it across the centre circle to Tarkowski, who seems none the worse for that stretch earlier. His long ball was searching out Mikalenko, and it was headed behind for a corner by Ward. So first corner for Everton, who have a much better record from corners than their opponents. 114 corners this season, 9 goals. They're the highest in the Premier League. And with the presence of Tarkowski and Branthwaite, that's hardly surprising. It's going to be Garner that's going to take it from the left. Right-footed in-swinger, in it comes. Headed away well by Odsonne Edouard. That was very well defended by the big forward. Ashley Young was playing last man on the halfway line for Everton. He hoists the ball towards the 18-yard area once more. Ward gets up to head away. Garner retrieves, puts it back in the penalty area once more. And again, Crystal Palace head clear. Edouard tries to make progress forward. He's tripped by Garner, and that will be a free kick to Crystal Palace, just short of the halfway line, to the right of the centre circle. That was a good, strong piece of play by Edouard. Brought back into the side tonight. He may well have been brought in for his physical presence to counteract Everton at those set pieces. But they'll also want him to do the business in the other penalty area as well. Here's the free kick. Drifted towards the 18-yard line. Headed away by Everton. Helped further clear by Ashley Young. Ward heads down. Lerma picks the ball up, but he's forced back to the halfway line to Tyrick Mitchell. Mitchell finds Ward. Gets it to this near side to Munoz. Munoz links up with Jordan Ayew. Runs infield. Gives the ball away though. Was he taken late, we wonder? Referee says no. Abdoulaye Doucouré. First game back from hamstring injury. Nice ball to his right. Sets Godfrey running down the right-hand side. The cross from level with the 18-yard line is an easy one for Sam Johnston. In the meantime, Munoz picks himself up, limping on his right foot. Oh, and that's why he was caught late. He was caught late by Dwight McNeil. Not the best of challenges. VAR have obviously, if they've had a look at that, they've ruled it's okay. It's out on this near side for a throw to Palace. 25 yards from the Everton left corner flag. Munoz goes back to Jefferson Lerma, but the ball into the middle from Anderson gives possession back to Everton. Here's Young on the far touchline. Tried to run up the line, but under pressure he gave the ball away, and Richards tied it up for Crystal Palace. Here's Ward with the pass to Anderson. Anderson advances, lays it up towards the halfway line to Munoz. Munoz back to Ward again. Ward up the right hand side, looking for Ayew, breaks for Mateta. Here's Mateta, 25 yards out, finds his man on the edge of the box. Hudson Edouard shoots straight at Jordan Pickford, who holds on comfortably. Can't help feeling that Hudson Edouard should have made more of that. He was nicely set up by Jean-Philippe Mateta, got the ball out of his feet, and he did get the shot on target, but there wasn't a great deal behind it. All a bit powder puff, I'm afraid. Here are Everton on the halfway line with Mikalenko on this near side. Played it forward to McNeil, back to Branthwaite in his own half, to Tarkowski in the centre circle. To his left to Godfrey, and forward to Young, who goes down under challenge and wins a free kick. Mitchell is penalised. Sean Dyche watches on, issues a word of instruction. Most possessions won for Crystal Palace in the Premier League this season, Tyrick Mitchell. But he didn't get the ball on that occasion. So this free kick is probably 7 or 8 yards in from the far touchline. Midway inside the Palace half. It's going to be drifted in right-footed by Everton. It's going to be Garner again. 2 hands aloft. Delivers the ball to about the 15 yards out. Palace deal with it well. Can they complete the clearance? Yeah, that's nice. That's a nice one too. Here's Munoz running in field. Plays it inside to Jefferson Lerma. Everton have got back behind the ball though. Palace didn't move the ball quickly enough. Here's Richards in the left-back position. Inside to Joachim Anderson. Anderson to his right to Ward, who plays it forward. Munez slips his man Mikalenko, fires the ball across. Mateta got a touch but could only push it out to his right, and Munoz wasn't far enough forward to pick up the return pass. Palace have won it back again though. Here's Ayew to Wharton. Wharton slides it into the path of Mateta, but the offside flag's gone up. He looked offside the moment the pass was played, and the assistant's flag was up quickly. That's good play again by Adam Ward, trying to play the little reverse pass. It's looked useful in these first few minutes. Here's a long ball though, looking for Calvert-Lewin. It skips through though to Sam Johnston. He puts the thumbs up to Jordan Pickford, who was looking for his centre forward. Skipped on, and Johnston was on the edge of his box and claimed the ball well. He clears right-footed up the right-hand side. Ayew's beaten to it by Mikalenko. Idrissa Gana Gueye tidies up, still on the edge of his 18-yard box. Plays it to Mikalenko on this left side. Mikalenko back to Branthwaite. Branthwaite inside to Gana Gueye, and Gana Gueye back to Pickford, who comes out of his penalty area to fire it forward left-footed. It's a good ball too. Finds Dwight McNeil. Ward does well initially, clears the area, but only to Decore, who puts in a shot from distance, which isn't the best, and bobbles wide of the near post. Ward did well initially to see off McNeil, but passed it straight to Decore, who perhaps is a little ring rusty after his layoff. He's missed 10 of the last 11 games. He rather snatched at that and fired it wide of the near post. Goal kick from Johnston. It's headed by Mikalenko, out for a throw to Palace, just inside their half on this near side. The Palace right. Munoz walks the ball into the Everton half, so he's stolen 5 yards. He's now stolen 8 yards. He's allowed to. He throws it in. Wharton gets a touch on the ball. Here's Jordan Ayew trying to run away from Idrissa Gana Gueye. Referee says no foul after Gana Gueye appears to make contact. Decore plays it forward. Intercepted though by Palace. And now Decore has brought down Adam Wharton and given away a free kick in the Crystal Palace half. Wharton did well to get there ahead of Decore, who couldn't stop his momentum and made contact with his man. Nothing intentional about that from Decore. He just couldn't stop, really. Palace play the free kick to this near side. It's over the head of Munoz, though, and it's out for a throw to Everton. To be taken by Mikalenko. 16.5 minutes played. Here on the Flash Score audio commentary service and the Flash Score app. Everton 0, Palace 0. As Palace's new manager, Oliver Glasner, the former Eintracht Frankfurt boss, watches on from the stands. Another throw to Crystal Palace. Which Munoz will take. He's probably spent more time in the Everton half than he has in his own. So he's the man that seems to be playing further forward out of the projected back five. Here's Jordan Ayew on the right hand side. Pokes the ball through to Mateta, who's got Branthwaite at his back. He touches it off to Munoz, but Munoz, in attempting to flick it towards the byline, flicks it over the byline and out for a goal kick. So not too many chances so far. Neither goalkeeper really inconvenienced. Here's Tarkowski. He's reached the halfway line on the right hand side. Plays it back to Garner, who plays it to Pickford. Long ball forward, headed away by Palace. Wharton feeds it into the path of Odsonne-Edouard. He tried to find Mateta, couldn't find him. Everton cleared. It was a pretty aimless ball, and it sailed all the way through to Johnston. And so Palace have it back in their final third. Loose ball to the halfway line, which Tarkowski intercepts. And Everton pick up possession with Branthwaite. He lays it back to Pickford. Pickford off to Tarkowski once more. He advances towards the halfway line. Plays it to his right to Godfrey. Godfrey fires it forward, looking for Calvert-Lewin. That's a good turn from the Everton man. Plays it back to Garner, forward of the centre circle. To his left to Mikalenko, further left to Dwight McNeil. Back to Garner once more. And back to McNeil. They've had to retreat to the halfway line under a press from Palace. Tarkowski plays a ball right to left, looking for Mikalenko. Ayew does his defensive work well, though, and allows Ward to clear to the halfway line. Garner picks the ball up, feeds Gana Gueye. Back to Garner, and now to McNeil. McNeil back to Garner. 10 yards in from this near touchline. Plays it back into his own half to Branthwaite. Pickford's almost in the centre circle playing that ball. Long ball forward, looking for McNeil, but headed back by Anderson into the hands of Johnston. It's another long ball forward from Everton that nearly fell to its intended target, just not quite. Well defended by Anderson. Here's Munoz on halfway on this near side. He's forced to retreat back to his goalkeeper Johnston, who clears right-footed over the halfway line. Mateta jumps, but he's out-jumped by Tarkowski. And here's Ashley Young trying to burst forward. Wharton tackles him. And Palace try and come forward once more with Mateta. Plays it out wide to Odsonne-Edouard, who takes on Gana Gueye, then tries to take on Godfrey, who puts it out over the far touchline. For a throw to Palace, about 5 yards from Everton's right corner flag. So is this a staging post to mount something. Paddy McCarthy watching on from the dugout. He's got an earpiece in, so I'm wondering if he's communicating with Ray Lewington or even Oliver Glasner. There's a ball forward from Adam Wharton, which is headed out over the far touchline for a throw to Crystal Palace. Crystal Palace board. Steve Parrish, Mark Bright watching on. Palace 3 defeats on the bounce. They haven't suffered 4 in a row since losing the last 4 of the 1919-20 season. Here's Tarkowski for Everton. Long ball up the right hand side. It's well won by Anderson though for Palace. Ward lays it forward to the halfway line to Ayew. Ayew out to the far touchline to Mitchell, and Mitchell goes back to Richards. Richards forward to Ward, back to Richards again in the left back position for Palace, and he goes all the way back to Johnston. Well, Palace will be pretty pleased with this start. They've not allowed Everton to get up any head of steam really. Johnston's been pretty quiet. So Paddy McCarthy, things to be happy about. But here's McNeil with a cross, headed towards goal by Calvert-Lewin, but off target. Well, I was very nearly made to eat my words there, having said that Palace had looked fairly comfortable. The Corey sent McNeil running down the left when he chipped it across the goal. Calvert-Lewin got there first, but the header was well off target actually. Probably 3 or 4 yards off target. But he got between the 2 defenders there, between Anderson and Richards. But the direction was all wrong. A grimace from the sometime England centre forward. Just 3 goals in 21 appearances this season. Shot conversion 6.5%, not great. Here come Everton down the right hand side. Ashley Young touching it back to Godfrey. Godfrey looking for Calvert-Lewin but didn't find him. And Palace have the ball back. They lay a long ball forward. Hodson Edouard tried to come racing onto it. Pickford came out. His clearance hit Edouard and it went out over the far touchline for a throw. That could have gone anywhere. It was Joe Ward's ball forward. Edouard was onto it. Pickford got there first. Struck Hodson Edouard in the midriff. Ball's out on the far side of the field. It's going to be a throw to Everton, just inside the Palace half. Either Young or Godfrey will take it, you would think. But Sean Dyche was appealing for handball. In fact, handball's been given. Well, I'm quite surprised about that. Everton have moved the ball further in field than it should be. So 7 or 8 yards in from the touchline. Midway inside the half. James Garner again to take. He's played it right-footed to the edge of the penalty area. Calvert-Lewin's gone down, and that's a free kick on the edge of the box. Challenged by Jefferson Lerma, and this is a much more dangerous position for Crystal Palace to have to defend. Right on the edge of the penalty area, that. Probably a yard outside. Calvert-Lewin tried to turn his man, and Lerma just came through the side of him. So this is dangerous. It's probably 5 yards in from the right edge of the penalty area as Everton play, and no more than a yard outside the box. So a real chance for Everton to finally test Sam Johnston as we click past the 25-minute mark. Garner is over the ball, as is Dwight McNeil. Will it be Garner's right or McNeil's left? Garner's moved the ball again. Seems to be an in thing now since Ivan Toney did it. As I say, will it be his right foot or McNeil's left? You would have thought it favoured McNeil's left, but we'll see. No, it's Garner's right and it's over the bar. Well, that's why I think it should have been McNeil's left, because that was a pretty tame effort from James Garner. I think they'd have been much better off with McNeil drifting a ball in with his left foot for others to attack. So the chance goes a begging. 26.5 minutes played here on the Flash Score audio commentary service and the Flash Score app. Everton 0, Crystal Palace 0. Long ball forward by Palace. Flicked on by Ayew, but tied it up by Tarkowski. Back to Pickford. Pickford, in his pink boots, plays it to his left to Branthwaite. He plays it inside to Garner Gay, back to Pickford. And Pickford then plays it to his right to Tarkowski. Tarkowski hits a ball from right to left, finds Mykolenko just inside the Palace half on this near side. Back to Garner Gay on halfway. Garner Gay forward, flicked on by Decore. And the two defenders do just enough to shield the ball from Calvert-Lewin so that Johnston can come out and claim. He rolls the ball out to Ward. Ward gives it back to Johnston. Johnston plays it short again to Wharton. Wharton's ball only finds Mykolenko though. And McNeil plays it to Mykolenko on this left side. Back to McNeil. Further back to Garner Gay. Back to Branthwaite in his own half. And now all the way back to Pickford, who's midway inside his own half, short of the centre circle. Lofts the ball forward in the direction of Calvert-Lewin. Spins off him and the defender. Mykolenko puts the ball in from the left. Oh, came off the head of Ashley Young as Godfrey was closing in on the far side. I don't think the two players talked to each other at all there, because if Godfrey had given Ashley Young a shout, he was closing in on the ball and would have had a clear shot at goal. As it was, Young's head took the ball away from him. I think they needed to talk to each other there. Throw to Palace in their left back position. Mateta contests the ball. Palace advance about 15 yards up the touchline. Tyrick Mitchell to throw in again. Throws to Wharton, back to Mitchell. Up the left hand side. Headed on by Edouard. Looking for Ayew, but again Everton tidy up. Get the ball back into the Palace half. Played down the right hand side, but Calvert-Lewin is offside. And so that'll be a free kick to Crystal Palace. Puts the thumbs up to acknowledge the idea. A few substitutes look like they're going to go for a run with less than half an hour played. I'll be surprised if anyone's going to blink this quickly, unless there's an injury that we've not picked up on. Sam Johnston to take the free kick for Crystal Palace. Plays it up the left hand side. Mateta jumps, but it comes off his head and out for a throw to Everton, just forward of their 18-yard area on the far side, their right. Well, again, Godfrey's going to steal about 10 yards, and he does so. Can't understand why referees don't get hold of that, but there we are. Ayew heads the ball forward. That's nice from Jean-Philippe Mateta, who holds off the challenge. Plays a little 1-2 with Lerma. Here's Mateta playing it to the far side. Here's Ayew approaching the left edge of the box. Plays it back to Mitchell. Mitchell is fouled, and that's a free kick to Crystal Palace out on that far side. Well, that all came about because Jean-Philippe Mateta was strong on the ball, allowed Palace to retain possession, and Garner Gay fouled Tyrick Mitchell. So this free kick, 5 or 6 yards in from the far touchline, probably 25 yards or so from the byline, maybe a little more. Looks like Adam Wharton's going to take this. One hand aloft. In it comes, into the penalty area, headed away by Abdoulaye Doucouré. Munoz picks the ball up, plays it to this near side to Joachim Andersen. Joachim Andersen back across the box, dangerous one, comes off the head of Tarkowski, retrieved by Ayew, who puts it back in the box. Tarkowski heads away again, and Ashley Young gets a head on the ball and puts it out over the far touchline for a throw. Good little spell this for Palace as we have gone past the half hour. Another ball played into the penalty area. Munoz jumps and gets his head on it, but can't direct it to a teammate, and Pickford sweeps on it and clears. Only as far as Richards. Wharton runs it back into the Everton half, where he's fouled by Young. So a free kick to Palace, just inside the Everton half, to the left of the centre circle. In fact, just short of the Everton half. It's Joachim Andersen to Chris Richards. His ball forward is a loose one, though, intercepted by Branthwaite. And perhaps that little period of Palace supremacy has passed for the time being. Ball's back with Pickford. To his right, to Tarkowski. Tarkowski makes progress down the right-hand side. Plays it back infield to Branthwaite, who advances forward. It's not a great ball by him, but the interception comes back into Everton's possession. And Jordan Pickford, who kicks it forward left-footed, headed on by Calvert-Lewin. Ashley Young can't get onto it because Mitchell gets his body in the way, and Young fouls him, and that's another free kick. The veteran looks a little frustrated at that, but I don't think he has a case. I think it was a clear foul. Maybe playing further forward tonight, he's dreaming of his old days as a winger and thinking he can perhaps get himself on the score sheet. That was quite a sore one for Mitchell, but he's back on his feet now. So Johnston with the free kick, 7 or 8 yards outside the penalty area, left hand side, kicked forward right footed down the left hand side. I think that's gone straight out. It's gone straight out for a throw to Everton, to be taken by Godfrey midway inside the Everton half. How many yards will he steal this time? Well, he's taken a pretty long walk, and this time the referee has sent him back. He said, no more of that, son. So he's had to go back again. Still steals 2 or 3 yards, but Palace get the ball back from the throw. Here's Odsonne Edouard playing it in field to Mateta, back off to Edouard, inside to Ayew. This is good play by Palace. Munoz inside to Jefferson Lerma, who gets it all wrong and puts it over the bar. But that was the best passing move of the night so far from either side. Good play between Odsonne Edouard and Jean-Philippe Mateta, and a good ball across from Jordan Ayew. Munoz teed up Jefferson Lerma well. He scored a screamer last week, Jefferson Lerma, but he didn't get that one right at all. Here are Everton trying to come forward. Wharton, though, tidies up for Palace. The ball's back with Johnston, who kicks it right-footed over the halfway line. Mateta jumped, and an offside flag's been given against Jean-Philippe Mateta. Well, Palace with the only shot on target so far. They've only had 2, 1 on target. Everton 5, none on target. Jean-Philippe Mateta has actually faced Everton 8 times, more than any other Premier Division club. But he's only been on the winning side once. Not such good news if you're a Palace fan. Here's Pickford with the free kick. Lost it forward. Richards wins the header for Palace. Helped clear by Odsonne Edouard, but only as far as Idrissa Gana Gueye. Gana Gueye plays it from right to left. Good jump by Munoz, but the ball still finds its way to Dwight McNeil, who plays it infield to Tarkowski, who's on the retreat, having not got the ball from the initial free kick. Tarkowski again to the left of the centre circle, out to this near side to Mikolenko, and he plays it off the shins of Ayew and out for a throw. Throw to Everton, midway inside the Palace half. Paddy McCarthy getting a few instructions on the field for Palace. Ball played forward by Everton, easily cut out by Munoz, who launches the ball up to towards the halfway line. Odsonne Edouard tries to get onto it, but Branthwaite steers it back to Pickford, who clears left-footed into the Palace half. Ball breaks for Dwight McNeil, who comes in field to a more central position, tries to spray it to the right, but Palace intercept. Here's Mateta laying it off to Ayew. Tackle comes in from Branthwaite. McNeil goes down under a challenge from Wharton, but the referee says play on. Here's Odsonne Edouard approaching the left corner of the area for Palace, faced by Tarkowski. Tries to get past the Everton man and wins a corner. Well, Odsonne Edouard has worked really hard in this first half for Palace. He's worked really hard, and he's linked up quite well with Jean-Philippe Mateta. It's not produced a huge amount of goal threat yet, but it's promising. They don't play together that often. Here's the corner from the left, to be taken by Adam Wharton. In it comes. Lerma jumps, but he's beaten to it by Calvert-Lewin. It's gone back to the corner taker. He's fed it to Mitchell, who feeds it over from the left-hand side. Richards heads, hits Tarkowski, goes behind for another corner to Palace. So Palace enjoying another little period of supremacy here at Goodison Park. It was a good header from Richards. It might have been sneaking inside the near post. Tarkowski's deflection took it wide. Here's Wharton again, putting another ball into the box. Good leap off the line by Ashley Young. Pickford was beaten. Well, I said they've not managed to score a goal from a corner, but Jean-Philippe Mateta was close there. Got up above Ben Godfrey, and the header had beaten Pickford, and it was kicked off the line by Young. So another corner to Palace, their third in quick succession. This one from the right, in it comes, taken by Pickford. Good claim by the England goalkeeper. And so still Palace's wait for a goal from a corner goes on. Wharton won the ball from Pickford's clearance, but couldn't keep hold of it. Gay played it back to Pickford, who clears left-footed up over the halfway line, headed on by Calvert-Lewin and knocked by Doucouré, looking for the run of Dwight McNeil. Richards does well, slides in and clears. Munoz can come down the right-hand side for Palace, plays a little 1-2 with Jordan Ayew, back to Ayew again. Ayew finds Odsonne Edouard towards the left edge of the area. He's got Mitchell outside him. Mitchell will try and play the ball across, but Godfrey is in his way, and Godfrey keeps it in on the far side and plays it to Ashley Young. So Mitchell must try and recover his ground. He does so, bites back into the tackle, wins possession back for Palace. Here they come again to the edge of the area. Nice little 1-2 between Ayew and Odsonne Edouard. Everton just get enough bodies back to see that off, but here's Mateta again in the box. Another shot deflected up off an Everton foot. It was Dwight McNeil, and eventually it goes through to Pickford, and the Everton goalkeeper can calm it down. But Palace are in the ascendancy here at Goodison Park, no doubt about it. Whether it's wanting to impress the new manager or give Roy Hodgson a performance, we're not quite sure whether Roy's still in hospital or not. Hodgson stood aside this afternoon, and Oliver Glasner was named as the new manager. He'll be in the dugout for the Burnley game at Selhurst Park on Saturday. But Palace have carried the greater threat so far in this game, no question. Here's Pickford, outside his area, advances a few strides, plays a ball up to the halfway line. Played down the line by Ben Godfrey, looking for Calvert-Lewin. Calvert-Lewin goes down under the challenge, but he was backing in, I think. And Palace run the ball clear with Joachim Andersen. His ball down the right-hand side was not successful, though. Munoz sweeps up as Dwight McNeil threatens to pounce. Johnston clears long, headed away by Branthwaite, brought down by Lerma in the centre circle. He looked for Mateta, ball went past him and ran through to Pickford. 3.5 minutes of the first half remaining. Everton 0, Crystal Palace 0. Here's Mikalenko on halfway, feeds it forward to Decore, not seen too much of him so far. Mikalenko back into the centre circle to Idrissa Gana Gueye. He can play the ball out to his right hand side, and he does so. Here's Godfrey on the right hand touchline, gets past Mitchell, plays it to Young. Palace have enough bodies back, and they manage to win the throw just forward of their 18-yard area on that far side, their left. Defended well, Palace. Not allowed Everton too many sniffs of goal in this first half. Nothing untoward for Sam Johnston to worry about. Munoz plays the ball forward to Jordan Ayew. Jordan Ayew turns a circle, he's under pressure just inside the Everton half. He's got past two though. He advances forward. Can he find a pass? He looked for Mateta, it was headed away by Ben Godfrey, picked up by Everton, who can launch an attack down the left with Dwight McNeil. He stops though just over the halfway line, runs in field, doesn't seem to be running anywhere in particular, but eventually plays it to the right to Godfrey on halfway. Godfrey further forward to Young, inside to Decore, back to Young again. Decore turns back towards his own goal though and plays it back in his own half to Tarkowski. Tarkowski gets it onto his right foot, plays it to Garner on the centre spot. Garner to his left. Mikalenko with the ball forward, headed towards goal by Calvert-Lewin, but no real power or direction, and easily swooped upon by Sam Johnston. Not had a lot of change so far out of the Palace defence. Hasn't Dominic Calvert-Lewin, but a minute and a half before half time. Andre Gomez not in the squad tonight, watches on. Branthwaite jumps, wins the header. Breaks for Palace though. Munoz lays it back, goes into the Everton half. Lerma touches it off for Wharton. Wharton tried to play it through to Odsonne-Edouard. Tarkowski saw the danger, blocked it off, played it to Godfrey on the right hand side. Godfrey forward, flicked on by Calvert-Lewin, but Young can't get there, and Johnston will clear towards the halfway line. McNeil picks it up, plays it back to Branthwaite, all the way back to Pickford, and that's a miss kick from the England goalkeeper, and Everton can't keep it in. So that's a throw to Palace, 10 yards inside the Everton half on this near side. Just half a minute of the first half remaining. We've not had a trainer on, and we've not had a booking, so you would expect there to only be 1 minute of time added on for stoppages, you would think. Thrown in by Palace, flicked on by Ayew, but tied it up by Tarkowski. Back to Pickford. Pickford clears right-footed into the Palace half. Chris Richards brings it down nicely, plays it to Anderson. Anderson back to Richards. Wasn't a great pass that. And it's out for a throw to Everton. And there is indeed 1 minute of time added on. So if anybody's going to steal the lead before half time, they're going to need to do it pretty quickly. Ben Godfrey throws it in. Calvert-Lewin screens it off. Godfrey attempts to play it back down the right touchline. It's out for a throw to Palace. That will probably be it for the first half because there's only half a minute left. Tyrick Mitchell to take the throw. He's going to take his sweet time about it by the look of things as well. He throws it up the line, headed forward by Godfrey. Everton player goes down. Free kick is given against Wharton. So maybe there will be one more chance to load a ball into the box. A free kick right out on the far touchline. Foul on Young by Wharton. It's a pretty soft one. Ashley Young went down very easily. So it's a few yards in from the far touchline. It's probably 22, 25 yards from the byline. It'll be played in right-footed by Garner. So one chance for Everton to get ahead on something and to lead at half-time. It would be a lead they don't deserve, but they won't care. Garner